You did not stumble upon this video by accident. Nothing in this world is random. Every moment is ordered, every meeting divine, and every word you hear right now is aligned with a deeper truth within you. Your win is coming. You've been waiting, hoping, watching the signs, and wondering when the breakthrough will arrive. This message is your confirmation. You are not late, you are not forgotten, you are on time. This is the echo of your own inner calling, reaching back to you, reminding you of your true power. The creative force within your imagination. Your mind is not a mirror of the world, it is the blueprint of the world. What you hold in imagination when fused with feeling becomes form. This means your success, your abundance, your love, your breakthrough, it all begins inside. You are not here to chase it. You are here to create it. The desire you carry is sacred. It is not random. That deep yearning you feel is a signal from a higher dimension, one where your win already exists. If you can feel it, you can have it. If you can assume it, it must become real. That's the law. So the question is, can you dare to assume it's already done? Can you let go of the visible world just for a moment and fully dwell in the end? Can you imagine the message you'd send to a friend after your dream has come true? Can you feel the relief, the joy, the peace that comes when the wait is over? Because in truth, it already is. You must no longer seek signs from the outside to prove it's coming. The fact that you're hearing this is your sign. Your soul brought you here. Your higher self whispered, "Watch this." And here you are, receiving the seed that will bloom in your world. There is no force denying you your good except the disbelief within you. Let that go now. Give yourself permission to believe without needing evidence. The evidence will follow. The wind will come. The world must conform to your sustained inner state. That's not a wish. That's a spiritual law. So now, as you listen, allow your inner world to change. Close your eyes for a moment and feel it done. See yourself already living in the wish fulfilled. Feel the peace of knowing it's complete. Breathe in that certainty. Walk through your day with a quiet confidence of someone who has already won, because you have, and the world will soon reveal it. This video found you for a reason. Your win is near. Hold the vision. Assume the feeling. Trust the unseen and watch as the world rearranges itself around your new belief. Everything begins and ends within you. You are not a victim of the world you see. You are the creator of it. The outer world is not an independent force acting upon you. It is a mirror reflecting back the beliefs, assumptions, and inner conversations you entertain most often. Your consciousness is the cause. The world you experience is the effect. You are the operant power, not passive but active, not dependent but directing. Whether you realize it or not, every thought you possess in, every feeling you dwell in, every inner dialogue you repeat, these are shaping the landscape of your life. The power has never been outside of you. It was always within, waiting for you to take ownership of it. When you assume something to be true about yourself, your circumstances, your worthiness, that assumption begins to take root. It sinks into your subconscious mind, which does not argue or reason. It accepts what you persistently imagine and feel. Then, like a seed in fertile soil, that belief begins to grow. The people, events, and situations in your world begin to arrange themselves to reflect that inner reality. You don't need to force change in the outer world. That's like polishing a mirror and hoping your face changes. Instead, change the image you hold within. If you see yourself as successful, loved, abundant, and chosen, and you feel it as true, the world cannot help but reflect that back to you. Not because you manipulated anything on the outside, but because you altered the cause, which is your inner state. The truth is, the power is always working even when you don't know it. If you habitually assume lack, fear, failure, or rejection, Those assumptions will also find their way into your experience. But once you become aware that you are the operant power, you are no longer a reactor. You are a deliberate creator. So what are you choosing today? What are you accepting is true about yourself? What are you assuming about your future? Are you repeating old stories of limitation, or are you writing a new script with intention and clarity? There is no power out there deciding your fate. No one has authority over your reality unless you give it to them in consciousness. Once you recognize that your inner world dictates your outer world, you can no longer afford to speak words or think thoughts that contradict your desires. Every mental act is a creative act. Every inner assumption is a command to the universe. This doesn't mean you have to be perfect. It simply means you must be aware. You must become the guardian of your inner sanctuary. You must choose deliberately what you dwell on, what you accept, what you declare. Speak to yourself as the person who already has the life you want. Think from the place of the end, not toward it. Feel the joy of it being real now. And when doubts arise, as they sometimes will, remember you are not the doubt. You are the power behind the thought. You can shift in an instant by choosing a new idea and breathing life into it. You are the operant power you have always been. You don't need permission. You don't need a sign. You don't need anyone else to agree. All you need is a decision to believe what you've been given. The ability to imagine, assume, and receive. This is your invitation to reclaim that power. Stop waiting for your life to change. Start being the change within, and the world will follow because it must. You are the operant power. Now that you know it, nothing can ever be the same again. The desires you feel deeply and persistently are not random. They are not idle daydreams or fanciful wishes detached from reality. They are divine signals, sacred messages whispered from the unseen, calling you to remember what already belongs to you in another dimension of your being. You wouldn't have the desire unless the fulfillment already existed. It is already done. It is already real. The moment a true desire is born within you, the path to its realization also begins to unfold. Your role is not to question whether it's possible. Your role is to accept that its very presence is the proof of its possibility. Desire is not lack. It is life's way of expanding itself through you. It is how the unseen becomes seen, how the invisible becomes visible. That urge within you to grow, to love, to succeed, to create, to experience more is not just personal. It is universal. It is divine intelligence choosing to express itself through your unique consciousness. So many people are taught to distrust desire, to see it as something selfish or material. But in truth, desire is sacred. It is the voice of your higher self guiding you into alignment with who you are meant to be. When you deny your desire, you are not being humble. You are resisting your own expansion. You are turning away from the gifts that life is trying to hand you. You are not meant to suppress desire. You are meant to honor it, to hold it close, to breathe life into it through imagination, faith, and inner conviction. You are not chasing something outside of you. You are allowing something within you to take form. And this is key. The desire you feel is not something you must go out and earn or achieve through effort alone. It is something you must assume, accept, and align with. You must claim it in consciousness first. When you do all the necessary pieces, people, timing, resources, inspiration begin to move. You don't have to figure it all out. You only have to know that it is already yours and act from that place of inner certainty. This is not wishful thinking. It's spiritual law. The seen follows the unseen. The world of form bends to the world of assumption. So if you feel called to something, a new life, a bigger purpose, more abundance, deep love, understand that it's already seeking you just as you are seeking it. Do not analyze it. Do not explain it away. Do not let the voices of doubt or fear silence it. Instead, trust it. Trust that what you desire desires you. Trust that it was planted in your heart because you are the one to bring it forth. Trust that there is no distance between you and the fulfillment of your dream. only the veil of belief which you now have the power to lift. When you truly honor desire, you shift from hoping to knowing, from wishing to expecting, from seeking to allowing. And in that shift, reality begins to conform to the new story you are telling yourself, the one where you already have what you've asked for. So the next time a desire rises in your heart, welcome it. Recognize it as a sacred message from the deeper part of your being. Listen to it, embody it, speak as if it's done, move as if it's done. Feel the relief and gratitude of its completion, because in truth, it is done. All you must do now is align with it. Desire is not something outside of you calling you forward. It is something inside of you calling you home. And the fact that you can feel it means you are already on your way. So trust the signal. Walk in faith. And watch your desire unfold, not by force, but by divine inevitability. Because what is truly yours cannot miss you. Imagination is not mere fantasy. It is the womb of creation. Everything that has ever come into existence began first in the invisible realm of imagination. Every structure, invention, masterpiece, or breakthrough the world has witnessed was first seen by someone within. It existed in the mind before it appeared in form. And this is true for your life as well. What you vividly imagine with emotion, consistency, and belief begins to form the blueprint for your reality. Your subconscious mind, which governs your habits, reactions, and even what you attract, does not distinguish between a real experience and a vividly imagined one. It accepts what you persistently feel and see within as truth, and then moves you and the world around you to reflect that inner truth. Imagination is the first cause. The visible world is the second cause, the echo, the reflection, the result. If you want something to change in your outer world, you don't start there. You go within. You revise the image you hold. You dwell in the scene that implies your desire is already fulfilled. This is not about wishful thinking or idle daydreams. True imaginative work is intentional. It is focused. It is emotionally charged. When you imagine the life you want, and do so with genuine feeling, with the senses engaged with the joy and gratitude of already having it, you impress that image upon the subconscious. That impression sets in motion the unseen laws that govern form. You must become the director of your own inner movie. Do not let the world, your past, or your circumstances dictate the scenes you replay in your mind. You have the power to create new ones. Scenes that lift you, that honor your highest vision, that affirm your worth and success and abundance. And this power doesn't require force. It doesn't require years of effort. It only requires faithfulness to the unseen. Can you remain loyal to the vision within even when the outer world seems unchanged? Can you persist in the assumption that it is already done, already yours, already real? Because it is. The moment you create and feel that imaginal scene, it begins to live. It begins to breathe. And the more often you return to it, morning, night, in idle moments, the more real it becomes to your subconscious. Eventually, that image becomes your belief. And once it is believed, it must be experienced. This is the secret used by great inventors, artists, athletes, and mystics alike. But it is not reserved for the few. It is your birthright. You came into this world equipped with the divine gift of imagination, the ability to create something from nothing. Use it wisely, use it consciously, use it lovingly. If you imagine yourself as successful, loved, healthy, and whole, and you feel the reality of that scene with faith and persistence, you will find the outer world bending to that new story. People, opportunities, ideas, and circumstances will begin to appear that match your inner movie. It is law. So begin now. Create a scene in your mind that reflects the life you desire. Make it vivid. Make it joyful. Make it rich with sensory detail. See it, feel it, and above all, return to it often. Let it become your dwelling place. Because whatever you do not consciously imagine, the world will imagine for you, and it will do so based on past beliefs, fears, and limitations. But when you take control of your inner world, you take command of your destiny. Imagination creates reality always. The question is, are you using it deliberately or unconsciously? Choose now to become a conscious creator. Step into the role of the visionary of your life. The world you desire is not out of reach. It is already with waiting for you to see it clearly enough, consistently enough, and feel it deeply enough that it cannot help but become real. What you imagine today will live tomorrow. So imagine wisely, imagine boldly, and watch your world transform. The secret to effortless manifestation lies not in striving, begging, or waiting, but in living from the end. To live from the end is to mentally and emotionally occupy the state where your desire is already fulfilled. It is to think, feel, and act as the version of you who already has what you've asked for. It is not a trick, it is a law. This principle is powerful because it shifts your entire vibration, your entire assumption of identity. When you live from the end, you no longer operate from longing or lack. You operate from completion. And that sense of wholeness is magnetic. It draws experiences, people, opportunities, and outcomes to match it without the exhausting push or grind. You don't wait for the external world to catch up before you shift your state. You shift your state now, and the external world must follow. The world is a mirror, not of your words, but of your inner feeling. When you feel yourself to be what you desire, your world begins to reflect that inner knowing back to you. Ask yourself, who would I be if it were already done? How would I walk, talk, move, and respond to life if I knew my desire was guaranteed? How would I carry myself if I knew I had already arrived? This is the identity shift. It is not pretending. It is not forcing. It is embodying a new self-concept, one rooted in fulfillment rather than frustration, one based on the truth that your assumption creates your reality. For example, if your desire is wealth, do not think from the perspective of someone trying to become wealthy. Think from the place of already being prosperous. Feel the ease of abundance. Make decisions from that state. If it's love, don't imagine yourself as alone, hoping someone will choose you. Assume the state of being chosen, cherished, and secure in love. Feel it real. Living from the end rewires the subconscious. It reprograms the lens through which you perceive reality. Once your perception changes, so does everything else. You will begin to notice new pathways, new signs, new ideas, all because you dared to assume the wish fulfilled. The world cannot resist the pull of your inner state. When you are consistent in your assumption, your world becomes obedient to that assumption. It bends, shifts, and rearranges not by your force but by your faith. This principle is the opposite of striving. It is a surrender but not to defeat. It is a surrender to the truth that it is already done. You don't chase it, you claim it. You don't beg for it, you dwell in it. And if doubt arises, as it sometimes will, return to the end. Don't fight the doubt. Don't argue with the world. Simply revisit your scene. Refill your desire as fulfilled. Re-enter the state of your chosen reality. The more often you do this, the more natural it becomes. And what is natural to the mind becomes inevitable in form. This is how you transform your life, not by reacting to circumstances, but by refusing to let them define you. Your current conditions are not your truth unless you decide they are. You are not here to live by appearances. You are here to live by vision. Living from the end is the most loving, powerful, and confident way to create. It removes the waiting, the hoping, and the anxiety. It places you in the only moment that truly exists. Now, and in this now, you have the power to become anything, receive anything, and embody any reality. So dare to assume the best. Dare to walk in your fulfilled state. Dare to live as the person you've dreamed of becoming, because that version of you already exists. It is waiting for why. Oh, to claim it, live from the end. And the end will meet you here in the present. We live in a world that teaches us to wait for confirmation, to look for evidence, proof or signs before we believe something is possible. But this way of living places you in a passive state. It says, I believe it when I see it. But the truth is, you will see it when you believe it. Kinds follow. They do not precede. The outer world is a shadow cast by the inner world. It does not move first, it reflects. Your dominant belief, your consistent inner state, your assumption. These are what give birth to the conditions you experience. The world simply catches up with what you have already accepted as true in your inner reality. Waiting for signs is a form of doubt. It says, I'll trust once I'm shown. But life doesn't work that way. You are the operant power. It is your belief, your assumption, your faith that sets things in motion. If you wait for proof before moving into faith, you are standing still. And so your world remains still too. But when you become the proof in consciousness, when you assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, even if there's no evidence yet, you activate the unseen forces that bring it into form. It is not magic, it is law. Think of it like a seed. You do not plant a seed and then demand immediate evidence. You trust the process, you water it, you nurture it, and you know that growth is happening beneath the surface. The same is true for your desires. Once you claim them in consciousness, the process has begun. Even if nothing appears to have changed, you're constantly scanning your world for signs, asking, where is it? Why hasn't it happened yet? You are actually affirming the absence of your desire. And what you affirm inwardly, you continue to experience outwardly. Instead, shift your attention. Don't ask for a sign. Be the sign. Embody the energy of the result. Alk as the version of yourself who already has it. Speak with the confidence of one who knows it is done. Feel the peace of completion. When you do this, signs will begin to show, not because you are looking for them, but because you no longer need them. Irony is that signs appear most rapidly for those who have stopped needing them. When you detach from the need for proof, proof begins to show up. And what are signs really? They are feedback reflections of your state of consciousness. They are not guarantees or approvals from the universe. They are simply echoes of your inner movement. So let them come. Let them be a quiet nod that you're aligned, but never let them become the reason you believe. You are the cause. The world is the effect. When you shift internally, the world must shift to match. This is not a possibility, it's a certainty. You are not at the mercy of chance. You are not hoping to be chosen. You are the chooser. You are the one setting the tone and direction of your reality. So stop waiting. Don't postpone your joy. Don't delay your belief. You do not need external permission to live in the state of your fulfilled desire. Move now into that inner conviction. Rest in the knowing that what you seek is already seeking you. Signs will follow. Opportunities will appear. The right people will arrive. Doors will open, but not because you chased them, because you became the version of you who already has them. So trust yourself, trust your imagination, trust the inner feeling more than the outer facts, because the world must follow your belief. And once you fully understand this, you'll stop chasing signs. You'll realize you are the sign. Faith is not hoping, faith is not wishing, faith is inner certainty in the unseen, a loyalty to what your senses have yet to confirm. It is the quiet but unshakable conviction that what you have imagined is already real, Al. Ready yours, already done, even when there is no external proof. This is the kind of faith that moves mountains. Not because it pushes or strives, but because it knows. It holds to the unseen reality with unwavering allegiance, refusing to be swayed by appearances, time, or delay. Faith means you no longer look to the outside world for validation. You don't need the world to show you evidence before you believe. Instead, you believe and the world eventually mirrors that belief. Faith comes first. The manifestation follows. To have faith is to claim your win before it is visible. It is to remain loyal to the imaginal act, the inner feeling, the vision that came to you not by accident, but by divine impulse. That dream, that desire, that inner conviction was placed in you as a seed, and your faith is the soil in which it grows. The challenge, of course, is that the world is loud. It will tempt you to doubt. It will ask for evidence. It will present delays and contradictions and moments of silence. And in those moments, you may question yourself, is it really working? Did I imagine it all? Should I give up? But those questions